Hello, everyone. Welcome to this We Did It Health event. At We Did It Health, we're working to create a healthy, happy, vegan, and plant-based world. We're doing that through building community and offering resources such as today's discussion to help you create relationships where you plant seeds of hopeful curiosity in others, especially when they ask about a vegan or plant-based lifestyle. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we're going to be talking today about the festival that's coming up, the Thrive and Inspire Winter Festival at We Did It Health. And I'm excited to introduce to you my good friend, Dr. Angela Crawford. She is an advisor to We Did It Health. So she brings her many years of expertise in the field of psychology. So if you're watching live, make sure to give StreamYard your permission to use your name, everyone. And I see JJ's there. So, and if you're watching the replay, ask us any questions you have, because we're here to tell you about the festival and get your questions answered, and just to give you a little bit of insight about communication and how we can make a little change and live more in peace. So welcome, Angela.
Hi, Mariquita, and hi, JJ, and anybody else who is joining us. I'm so happy to be here today. I'm excited about the festival too, which, we're going to share some hopefully helpful information as you kind of start to think about your holidays, but also we're going to share in more depth about the festival that's coming up and hopefully inspire you to join us.
Well, I'm excited about it, definitely. So, well, whenever you're ready, Angela, if you'd like to, we want to know about you though. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Some of you have met me before through other events with We Did It. I'm a psychologist for many years, and I've always been passionate about helping people be healthier in mind, body, and spirit. And about 17 years ago, became vegetarian for ethical reasons, and that just led to a whole journey that eventually led me to becoming vegan. And just realizing that this is the most important choice that I could make for everything that mattered to me, for compassion for all beings, for a planet that's thriving, and for human well-being as well, for our health and mental health. So I just felt that it was really so important that I wanted to bring my expertise, my background, my experience as a psychologist, and just through my own life to try to help create a world that is more compassionate, where we all can flourish. And so, doing that in different ways through, partnering with We Did It in various ways, through working on a book right now that I'm excited about that, is about transforming yourself through a vegan lifestyle in mind, body, and spirit. So I'm just, really excited to be part of this festival as well, and just anything to help us thrive as vegans so we can inspire other people and make this movement grow. So
well, yeah, thank you. We're so lucky to have Dr. Angela Crawford on board with us. She's always helping and guiding us navigate the challenges of a vegan lifestyle. So
yeah, well, and I appreciate our connection and all that you do too, Mariquita. So
thank you.
Okay, so I have some slides if you're
ready.
Yep, I think I'm ready. If you want to pull them up for me, I'll navigate through them.
Sounds good.
Okay. So today what we're talking about is the power of proactivity so that we can actually thrive through the holidays. Holidays mean different things to different people, depending on your cultural background, your religious background, your family background. We all have different holidays that, are important to us or those we love. But for many of us, the time that's approaching is a time that's rich with lots of different holidays. In the US, we have Thanksgiving coming up in November. If, there's Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, and there's also the New Year and maybe many other holidays and festivals that fall amongst those. So for vegans, because so often holidays relate to certain types of foods, often animal-based foods, the holidays can be more challenging for us as vegans and can create a lot of stress, at a time that we'd like to have it be more connecting and enjoyable. So what we're going to cover today, first, is just recognizing some of the challenges that we as vegans or plant-based eaters that we face during the holidays. And we'll really emphasize the importance of effective and empowered communication to be able to address those, and talk about 3 key mindset shifts that will help to thrive through the holidays. And last of all, a little bit of a preview of the Thrive and Inspire Festival that we hope to get you to really be excited about also, because we'd love to have you join us. As vegans, we face a certain paradox in our vegan living. In the research I've been doing for my book and in my conversations with vegans, becoming vegan for many of us is one of the most empowering and transformative decisions that we've ever made in our lives. It's aligned with values of compassion and justice and health and sustainability, all these things that, we see. It just connects all these dots. I know for me, it was highly transformative. Not only did it end up helping me health-wise to stay healthy and not have many of the kind of chronic conditions that run in my family, it's also just made me feel like I'm able to make a difference for what really matters to me. And so at the same time, so many of us have these shifts in this sense of alignment and purpose and greater health. We also experience sort of a confrontation and conflict around the societal norms that view meat eating as natural, normal, and necessary, using Melanie Joy's words, the 3 N's of justification, the ways that our culture justifies meat eating. And during the holidays, these very challenges and conflicts that we face around this tend to be heightened for many reasons. And maybe you can relate to some of these kinds of challenges that people face as vegans during the holidays. The most obvious is that so many family holiday meals center around animal-based foods that we know are harmful to animals, to our own human health, and to the health of our loved ones, and harmful to the planet. And so we witness this and, see it being so central, and it can be really distressing on so many levels. On top of that, you may be one of the only vegans in your family or social network. And so you may feel isolated and unsupported at a time that we all hope to feel more connected. And because of this, you might just be like, I don't even know what to do during the holidays. What can I do when so much centers around foods that I no longer want to eat and practices I no longer want to be part of? And whether you say anything or not about your veganism, you may experience others being defensive around you just simply because you show up and reflect back to them their lifestyle that may lead them to feel defensive, even when that's not your intention. And you might even, in some cases, endure things like ridicule or undermining or silencing of your values and views. So there's 3 key mindset shifts that I'm going to invite you to think about as you approach the holidays. And these mindset shifts can help you thrive and inspire. I'm going to grab my cat right now. She's wanting to jump up. She's my 20-year-old cat who is still hanging in there. So at any rate, so the 3 mindset shifts that I'm going to invite you into and that we'll talk about in a little more depth, being intentional. So really thinking about what your vision is for the holiday and incorporate your vegan values into that. Being prepared, recognizing the challenges that you are likely to face and start to explore ways that you might address those. And then last of all, being proactive, not reactive, creating an empowered action plan that's aligned with your intentions, your vision, and your values. So let's dive into those in a little more depth. So first of all, being intentional. The intentions we set play a big role in what we experience. And so often we find ourselves just being reactive to the experiences around us, just showing up and reacting to what other people do or say, or whatever is happening, instead of thinking beforehand, like, what do I want here? What is my vision? What is my intention? And just a reminder, like, just because things have always happened or been done a certain way doesn't mean that's how they always have to be. So just because certain holiday traditions are deeply ingrained in your family's history or your cultural history doesn't mean that's how you have to do it. And it doesn't mean that it's the way those around you will always do it either. So I invite you for a moment just to set aside all the limiting thoughts or patterns and just open yourself up to possibility. If you think about the holidays that are ahead for you, what is your ideal vision for these holidays? What would you want to have happen? What events or activities would you want to be part of? What people do you want to spend time with? What food do you want to eat? How much alone or downtime would you like? And how might your vegan values play a role in the holidays and the events and experiences that you have? And diving a little more deeply into like what that would look like for you, think about what events and traditions that your family has typically done or your loved ones have typically done. Which ones of those do you want to continue to be part of? Which ones might you attend but want to do differently? Which events might you choose not to be part of? What new traditions do you want to create? What foods will you bring and prepare and share? And the last two have to do with the mindset and the energy you bring. How are you going to show up for these different events? And how are you going to show up in your communication when you are maybe suggesting changes or letting people know that you're going to be doing things a little differently? And I want to invite you to think about, there may be some events, we're all different, that you might not like how things are done, but still want to be there, but make it different in your own way. And there might be some events you just simply feel you can't be part of. And we're each different in that respect. Some people will find that if there is, for example, at Thanksgiving, a turkey on the table, that they just can't be present in that space. And they're going to have a Friendsgiving that's centered around vegan food, or, find some way to change their involvement around that. Perhaps joining the family for another event later that doesn't involve food, or that just may involve you bringing a vegan dessert. For others of you, you might feel like, well, I really want to be part of that family event, but I'm going to bring lots of good vegan food and raise the opportunity to share information that will let people know that something else is possible. And I can speak to that a little bit personally because before I became vegetarian 17 years ago, my husband, who was then my boyfriend, his daughter was in her first year of college, and she was vegetarian at the time. And she came for Thanksgiving dinner, and she didn't eat the turkey. She just ate the vegetable dishes, and she wouldn't eat the stuffing because it had sausage in it. And she wasn't vegan, but she was vegetarian and ate just the vegetables and different side dishes that didn't have meat. And I was really struck by that because she seemed to really enjoy the meal and didn't seem to be missing out on anything. And I think that planted a seed for me, because only a month later, even a little less, 3 weeks later, I saw a program on PBS about meat processing plants. And that was my wake-up call, my why for going vegan. But my stepdaughter taught me that the how was possible. And I think that planted a seed. So when you are, the vegan in the room at a non-vegan gathering, you may be helping others to see what is possible that they haven't been able to see as possible before. So not being discouraged if the seeds you plant with that don't germinate right away. It may open a door when that person is ready to see that this is not only possible, but can be deeply enjoyable. And when you go even a step further and bring your great vegan food to the gathering, it even shows more that, like, wow, this is not depriving, or it doesn't need to be. So just as you weigh these things out, realize there are different choices. And if for you it is to not go to that event, but to set up a different plan with the family members, that's fine too. Maybe you're going to say, I can't be at the table where, a turkey is being served because of, and explaining your reasons why, but I'd love to get together with you at another time, and setting up a plan for what that would be. So, once you start to have your vision, what events you want to be part of, what events you will not be part of, what you want to create, what you need for your own well-being, including, self-care and, maybe some fun things that have never been part of your holidays before. Once you have that big vision, start to think about, well, what are the challenges? What are the things that might get in the way of me creating this vision? What holiday challenges have I typically faced? Which things cause me conflicts and stress? Which things are triggering for me? Where do I not handle the communication so well? Which people push my buttons? Just start to think about what those are. What are the things that are likely to get in the way of this vision that you're holding for a vegan holiday? And start to think about, what do you need to help you address these challenges? And this is sort of a brainstorming place in the whole process. What information do I need? What people do I need for support? And, who could help me, kind of bounce around some ideas? What vegan friends do I have that can help me think this through? Do I need to improve my communication skills so I can communicate more assertively and not just be silent, but also maybe not be aggressive either, to be able to do it in a way that actually honors my desire to have a relationship with loved ones, but also honors my strong commitment to speak for my values and what really matters. And so once you've set your intention, your vision, you started to think through what are some solutions, now is the time to really choose from those possible solutions which ones you want to put into action for your holidays. And obviously, this is a big step to figure all of this out. I'm covering a lot in this short presentation, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the Thrive and Inspire Festival, where a lot of these thoughts and ideas are going to be broken down and added to and built upon with much more in-depth teaching, conversations, discussions, practice, fun, all of that. That very community that I just mentioned, like, who are the people I can bounce this off of? Well, the Thrive and Inspire community would be that community. So, but right now, as you're thinking about it, just here, some things to think about. Practical solutions. Obviously, the one I've learned is to always bring delicious vegan food. And it didn't take me long to learn that. After a few months of being vegan, I realized, if I'm going to a social event and the people running it are not vegan, the chances of there being something vegan are often, lacking. Some people have learned to be really supportive of me over time and do provide vegan food, and I really appreciate that. But I've learned I can't count on that. So, and I do want to also be that person that shows that vegan food can be so delicious. So I've learned to be a reasonably good cook and baker, and I try to bring some great vegan food to whatever event I go to, especially if I know that it's not going to be with people who are vegans. So kind of being that advocate and role model that can show what's possible. I want to add in the importance of self-care. The holidays can be stressful, vegan or not, for many people. We just feel pressured to live up to certain expectations and certain, agendas and kind of ideas of what we think should happen and how things should be, or what other people expect of us or we think they expect of us. And we get burned out sometimes during some of the holidays. And so include time for yourself, whatever that is you need. Time for rest and renewal, time alone, activities that you genuinely enjoy and find renewing, and centering time, whether that be meditation or yoga or other time in nature, time with your beloved companion animals. You're going to also want to be able to set some boundaries. What are the limits you need to set around what you are willing to do, able to do? Where are you not willing to go? And, if you're part of a family activity, how are you going to speak up about what your needs are in that situation and still be respectful? So that relates into the whole idea of empowered communication, which is so central to thriving through the holidays and hopefully inspiring others. And that's going to be very central in the Thrive and Inspire Festival as well, as tools for that. In this short time, I obviously can't give you all the answers that you might need, or the answers even I need for how to handle some of the situations you're going to face. But just knowing that, most of us can figure out the practical part of it, learning to bring the vegan food, whether we buy it or make it ourselves. But setting boundaries and learning to be more empowered in your communication, that's a longer term journey that a lot of times we need some support in figuring out. So a few questions to think about, when it comes to empowered communication. Again, coming back to intention, so now you've made your plan, I'm going to attend this, or I'm not going to attend this. I'm going to create a new tradition, or I'm going to go to the old tradition but do it differently. Once you've kind of figured out those things, I invite you to think about, how do you communicate that now? How do you do it in a way that's empowered, connecting, effective? And again, I believe it comes back to starting with an intention. What do I want for myself, for the other person, and for the relationship? And how do I communicate in a way that is in alignment with that would create that? So often, again, we show up as reactive rather than proactive. Someone says something and it sets us off, and we just kind of say whatever the first thing is on our mind. And that's human. That's going to happen. We all do that. But for these areas where we're really wanting to create change, taking a moment to breathe, become intentional about what you really want to create in the situation, that can help really shift the energy in a way that the other person's more likely to hear you. And those questions that I started with, what do I want for myself, for the other person, for the relationship, come from a book called Crucial Conversations, that's really about having high-stake communications in a way that lessens some of that kind of reactivity that we have and others might have towards us, and helps us to be like 100% honest and straightforward in what we feel, at the same time being respectful and being able to do it in a way that the other person's more likely to hear us and receive us. And in a way that we can maybe understand more fully where they're coming from, so that we can create solutions that really honor our relationship and make the possibility that that person is going to be more open to changes and to new ideas. So 2 questions that really can be key for this holiday, in creating the holiday that we really would love to see, is, how do I honor my desire to spend time with loved ones and honor my commitment to vegan values? If your loved ones are not vegan, some of them at least, and you want to spend time with them, it doesn't have to be an either or. You don't have to just do it the old way or not see them at all. Asking that question with an and helps you to be open to creative solutions. How do I honor my desire to spend time with the people I love, even though they may be different from me in this key area? And how do I really stay true to my vegan values and to myself? How can I spend time with loved ones in ways that are aligned to my values and my commitment and my intentions? So just holding those questions, there can be creative solutions. Some of you are writing about some of them in the comments, and we'll talk about those very shortly as I wrap up the rest of the slides nearing the end here. So basically, these are questions that do take some time to figure out. So often we feel like we just have to go along with what is, or we just react against what is. And so we, though, can be creators in something new, a new way that we engage with our family and other loved ones, a new way that we enter the holidays and celebrate them, and a new way that we not only thrive ourselves and have meaningful holidays that get at the core of what the holidays really are about, but also we can also inspire and plant seeds so that we are moving towards a world that is more compassionate for all sentient beings, more sustainable and more healthy. So this leads us into the Thrive and Inspire Festival. So I wanted to just share this slide before I go back on the screen with Mariquita. In the festival, and we'll put the link up for the festival in the notes as well for you to be able to check out the web page about it and sign up yourself. We'll put that in the comments shortly. But in the Thrive and Inspire Festival, you will have the chance to connect with like-minded people from all over the world, to engage in various fun and growth-based activities. You'll learn from Claire Mann, author of Vistopia, vegan psychologist from Australia, who is creating much of the content for this, for the course on different tools, skills, approaches, mindset shifts, and practice so that you can, really handle the challenging situations that come up and really create a new experience. And several of us, like Mariquita and I and Trevor and certain others, will also be involved in helping to lead some of the materials. And you'll get to practice different skills like mindful presence, being able to hold your own emotions, because this is not about shutting down your feelings. It often involves engaging your feelings to have the wisest way to approach things, how to handle dinner conversations, and so much more. So we just really hope that you can take from this that you can be intentional, you can be prepared, you can be proactive and not reactive, and thrive not only through the holidays, but beyond. So Mariquita and I will share a little bit more about it and also kind of engage with some of your comments. But Mariquita, feel free to come back on.
Okay, thank you, Angela. And y'all, the link is in the description.
Oh, okay, it is in the description. Okay.
For the festival.
Okay, and I might be able to find it. I can't add to the chat, so I probably where I'm at, but. At any rate, if it's in the description, that's good. And so on the YouTube page where this is housed.
Yeah, in all of them. If you go to the description, you'll see.
Okay, great. So yeah, it's if you go to www.wedidit.health, there is a little prompt at the top that says Thrive and Inspire. So you can go there as well. And the Thrive and Inspire Festival is a 3-month experience. You can sign up for just a month if you like, but the whole festival will go on for 3 months leading up to the holidays and in the immediate aftermath of the holidays. And there will be live events, there will be recordings, there There will be discussions and practices, and there will be kind of, not only learning, but more fun things as well, like mindful practices and yoga and other things that kind of help you take care of you as well. I don't know if there's things that you wanted to add about it, Mariquita.
Well, first of all, I'm very excited about it, and I think that I think that's a package, like for the 3 months or the
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, and so it's going to give everybody a chance to get in and see that, because there's going to be so many different um, events specialized, like you're saying, in the mindfulness, right, and communication, and then community and just support. I guess venting. So that is so important that we have each other.
Yeah.
So and different experts are coming, different workshops. So
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Well, we had some great comments. Maybe we should touch on some of
yeah,
those. Just kind of looking back.
um,
Yeah.
we have here's one. I think this is Stacy's. Our answer is to have our own vegan Thanksgiving, and then for me to undertake the Christmas meal for our family by myself. It's a lot of work, but not as much work as the animals undergo. Well, that's beautiful. Yeah, and I love that, Stacy. That's sweet of you and very compassionate and kind.
Yeah, no, I think that's beautiful, finding that way that you can have a holiday experience that is meaningful to you, like the Thanksgiving where you have the vegan food, and then, okay, I'm still staying connected to the family, but I'm willing to take on this extra work so that, one, it can be a vegan meal, and so my family can experience how great that can be. So that is awesome.
Yeah, and we've got another comment from JJ. Let's see here. That is what I did last Thanksgiving. I made a big dinner, all the stuff vegan versions, and took all these containers to people. Also, people found it interesting and tried the dessert. They got to see vegan food is good. Yeah, it's very tasty, and and it's not just salad, rabbit food.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's inspiring. And so it made it pleasant for you, but also showed this possibility of like, okay, here's a cruelty free and climate healthy and human healthy meal. Like, wow. And it tastes good too. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it's very exciting, and it's so important to be flexible, and that's what I'm seeing here that JJ and Stacey are doing, being flexible and acknowledging other people's feelings, and really trying to be accommodating to others, because
Mhm.
when we remember that we weren't always vegan and we didn't understand. I didn't understand for years. I thought vegans were crazy. So
Well, I think JJ mentions too, it's a tough thing to keep your values and still respect those who are pre-vegan. And I believe that is something that we as vegans sometimes struggle with. I think, once we become vegan, it feels as if we've always seen it this way. And because we have awoken to what we didn't realize before, we sort of think everyone should be now awakened too. And obviously you know, the we see the suffering and we see what's happening to the planet, and we realize, there may not be a lot of time. So we feel a time pressure on top of that, to help awaken people to what animal agriculture does and to our health, to animals and the planet. And yet, if we think about how change happens, personal change and societal change, it usually happens in a way where people are inspired out of their own values to make a change, not because someone made them feel like a terrible person. So the more you can help people connect with their very own values in a way that it feels like it's their own choice, that really helps them to feel empowered, because they're the one that's going to have to carry it through once they make the choice. It has to come from within in a way that is sustainable. The other thing is, once a certain number of us have become vegan, there will be a tipping point. And so realizing some of it is just, those who have been vegan now for a while and those of us who are more recently vegan, we're the forerunners of a movement and, the kind of early adopters, if you will. And hopefully soon that will move where so many more are joining.
Yes, exactly. And what you're saying is that, I mean, this is a slow process, unfortunately. I mean, we'd love for it to be rushed. And I have a friend that says, but we've got to tell them now. We've got to tell them now. And I'd love to just really say, hey, but I have to I have to get with myself here and look at myself and be able to calm myself and really do this mindfully, communicate mindfully in the best manner that's effective, not the manner that I want to do it. So it's not about me, right? I mean, it's not about me and my ego. Like, wow, I told them, like I walked away and I won, right? They didn't know what to say. It's about really checking in first, like you're saying. I mean, the mindfulness before you go over there. Imagine the scenario and ask maybe, like if I said, hey, which I should have done last night, I'm going to be doing trunk or treat, Angela, and people are going to come up and say, hey, I don't think I can be plant-based, right? And what would I say? So I wasn't really ready when someone came up and said, hey, I tried veganism for 2 weeks and it didn't work. So, to be aware that if you're going to be in a situation, what are the challenges that might come up and how can you prepare yourself for that?
Yeah.
And then not beat yourself up. Like I did speak with him a little bit, but of course we're at trunk or treat, so I'm not going to go through a long narrative. I just said, well, tell me how long did you try it? A couple weeks. And I said, okay, so just kind of leaving the door open. I'm not here to judge you anything. And that's fine. I'm not going to go home and say, why didn't you say more? Right? I'm going to allow myself to have compassion for myself and do the best we can. That's all we can do. And we don't always have to be advocates. I mean, at the dinner table, I mean, it's so exhausting if we're always advocating and 24/7. Can we take a break sometimes?
Yeah. Sometimes the way we show up is our advocacy just by being, just by the way we role model, by the delicious homemade cheese, made from cashews or almonds, that's mentioned in the comments there. All these different ways are ways that we are also advocating, even when we're not using words.
Exactly, you're right. Like the food is a great, an activist, an advocate right there. You put it there and it's a lure, right? When they realize, oh my gosh, this is vegan, no way. So
when you're fulfilled and healthy, that makes a big difference too. Sometimes people have this perception because society is so based on meat that you can't be healthy or thrive as a vegan. Just every day that we're thriving, healthy, positive, living a good life in whatever way that means, that is also advocacy too. So as we're wrapping up today, we just really want to invite you to consider joining in. I think Claire Mann, who has so much experience in this area, is going to have a lot to bring to get us thinking about new ways to approach this and to use our best communication, our best gifts. So I'm really excited to see what's going to unfold and to be part of it. And I know Marikita and I will play some role in it too, with some of the groups that will help to facilitate some of them and different parts. We'll do some of the presentations as well. So we're excited to have Claire Mann be part of it with her great experience and other really great vegan therapists and other people as well that have a lot of experience in helping people to thrive and inspire. So we look forward to you joining us. And any final thoughts, Marikita, on your end?
No, but if you have any questions, reach out to us and we'll be happy to answer. Well, reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer them for you. So Angela's working on a lot of things behind the scenes. So definitely, I'm here to support y'all in the We Did It community. And I'm excited about the festival. So I hope I see you all there.
Yeah, me too. And thanks so much for the comments and feedback. And for those that watch later, may you all thrive and also be sources of inspiration through the holidays and beyond, so that we can move towards a compassionate and healthy and sustainable world.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And please hit subscribe if you're liking this. Let us know if you want to see other experts. Let us know who you want to see, and because we're here for you. Yeah, well, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you, Angela. And I hope you all have a beautiful Saturday. If you're watching on the replay, just keep loving yourself and keep thanking yourself for what a great job you're doing.
Okay. Thanks,
Namaste.
everyone. Bye-bye. Namaste.
Bye, everybody.